Welcome to the Big Little Podcast, Season 1, Episode 6. I'm going to talk today about StarCraft. StarCraft was the third brand we brought in, and for a very good reason. They fill a nice niche in the RV industry. One of the trends I'm seeing right now is there seem to be more and more options that are becoming standards, and that is a good thing. And with StarCraft, we're going to start with the basics. They started in 1903, but in 1964 they got into the RV business, and they built quite the powerhouse, and they make a very nice product. You probably are aware, but I have been to the factory of everything we carry. I am confident in how it's built and the quality you're getting. StarCraft offers 5 different lines, and we carry 3 of those. Their entry point camper is called the Autumn Ridge. Their upgraded single axle is called a Superlight Max. And behind me are the Superlights, which are the double axle, and I will go specifically into each brand. There is some things in common between all 3 lines, and one of those is the Magnum roof system. The Magnum roof system is very similar to your house truss. You have trusses from the back of the roof all the way up to the front. It's an incredibly strong system. They claim it's 50% stronger than their competition, and they have done a 4,500 pound load test on it, which is pretty stellar that you could put that kind of weight up there. They are fully walkable roofs. Once you get into the Superlight lines, there are ladders to get you up there as well. So now that we've said all that, let me go to this, and we're going to go to the Autumn Ridge line. The Autumn Ridge is a stick and tin, and I'm not going to assume you know the difference, so I will hit on that quickly. There are 2 types of constructions in the RV industry. You have stick and tin, and you have laminate. There is absolutely nothing wrong with stick and tin. They've been doing it for a long time. Stick and tin, you have a wooden framed sidewall and roof, and then they put insulation in the middle, hang metal on the outside, put backer board on the inside. There are a lot of things they do to make sure that's a quality product. In the case of StarCraft, they do use metal banding on all 4 corners, just as an extra assurance that this is going to stay together. And they do. Again, there is nothing wrong with it. When you get into the laminate, behind me, you're taking a steel sidewall, more than likely aluminum. They're putting in foam board, and on the outside, they're putting a sheet of laminated fiberglass. On the inside, they're putting a backer board. They glue them together and put them in a vacuum bonding bag, and that's what they use to attach the sidewalls. They are considered a superior build. In the case of StarCraft, as we get to the Superlights, we'll talk about a little bigger door, a little higher ceiling, all things that just make sense. One of the other thing between all 3 lines is a heated enclosed underbelly. I honestly don't believe any US campers are 4-season rated, but you could easily push 3. And if you look at StarCraft's literature, they'll tell you under 32 degrees to winterize your water lines. You can get in trouble real quick if you have water lines break. And yes, they're using a lot of this new PEC tubing for the water lines that's not supposed to freeze and crack, but you still have fittings, you still have faucets, you still have shower heads, you still have water pumps, so everything does need to be protected over the winter. One of the other changes going forward, or several that are very positive, is that they're going to have a solar package standard, 200 watt. And again, I've said this before, I'll say it again, with a solar panel and a controller, unless you have an inverter, all you have is a fancy battery charger. With that fancy battery charger, though some of the options with StarCraft, you can get that inverter as well. And what the inverter will do is turn the 12 volt into 110. One of the other things that is more and more popular, will probably become a standard as your 12-volt refrigerator. With a 12-volt refrigerator and the solar panel, especially 200, you will have enough to keep your fridge going off the grid. One of the other benefits of that, when you're traveling, you can have your fridge running as well. One of the things that I think is also a very positive plus, all the lines now are going to a converter that can handle lead-acid, which is your typical battery, or your lithium battery. So if you have a need, you could put a lithium battery in and really extend the amount of your battery to your camper. Let's bounce into some of these here before we get out of the episode, and I've not covered a camper. The Autumn Ridge line, or the AR line, has been around for several years, and I've got to tell you, it's a very impressive line. We have a model out here which is the smallest they make, a 172. Mighty fine little camper for what you get for it. They used to do an AR-14 that we could retail for under $10,000, but those days are only a faint memory. But value to camper, the Autumn Ridge line is unbeatable. All of them are going to give you a nice battery. I call it fat guy friendly. If I could sit on the mode and close the door, that's fat guy friendly. If it wasn't fat guy friendly, it wouldn't be here. So all Starcrafts have a nice sized bathroom, and they're very comfortable and give you everything you're going to find in a higher priced camper. When you get up to the 182, now you have your Queen Island walk around bed. The Queen Island walk around bed is wonderful if you have the towing capacity to get it, because needless to say, as you get into longer models, you're going to get into a little more weight. Autumn Ridge weights are going to run between, and again, this is single axle, just over 3,000 pounds to 4,200 pounds. The other things that are important is your fresh water. 26-gallon single axle. I love this, 19.9 black and gray. Let's just call it 20 for black and gray. LP, 20 gallons, length 19 to 24 foot. And that's a single axle. Let's jump into the Autumn Ridge double axle. You're going to carry your fresh water up to 48 gallons, 32.5 gray and black. Your LP is going to be 60, which is going to give you a lot of time with it. And we're looking at 24 foot to basically 34 foot. Let's go now into the Superlights. The Superlight is their Cadillac, and I'm going to talk about the Superlight Max, which I am a tremendous fan of. When you get to their Superlights, now you're getting to your laminated. You're getting to your front fiberglass cap with LED lights. Everything now is standard with the solid step that folds in. Every line now is standard with propane and AC hot water heating. The things that you really got to see it, and I'm going to stress that with any camper you're considering buying, go see it. Walk in it, touch it, make sure it's right for you. I'm a small camper guy. 20-foot camper, I can go a long time. You might be a camper that prefer 34, or as we've also talked, how are you going to use it? The Superlight Max's weights are 3,600 to 4,400 pounds. Freshwater goes up to 61 gallons, 30 gray, 30 black. LP is 60 gallons and 20 foot to 24 foot. It really is a Cadillac of a small camper. The only thing that I'm also going to back up, when you're talking a camper that size, you know, that is tending to be on the heavy side. When you're looking what you could get in other models, when you're looking at a 24-foot camper that's 4,400 pounds, and the 20 that's 3,600, you've taken your 3,500 pound vehicles out of it. So for the Superlight Max, you're going to need a minimum of a 5,000 pound tow rating. Let's go into the Superlight. The Superlight is the double axle version of the Superlight Max. And it just really is off the chart with what it offers. Don't be duped into thinking you need to spend 40, 50, 60,000 or more to get a nice camper. The StarCraft lines, you're going to be in between mid-20s and mid-30s, and you are going to get what their competition is selling for 50 or 60,000. So what are some of the things that are different with the double axles? Well, you have the same fiberglass front end cap with LED. You have an oversized pass-through storage, which is kind of neat because it has a motion activated light in it. Some of the models have outside refrigerators and stoves, it all depending on which model and which option. When I look at a super light floor plan, and I've stressed this before, when you look on the floor plan on paper, look at usable floor space. And I can tell you with StarCraft and the super light, all of them have tremendous floor space. So if you get caught on that rainy day, you at least have a little bit of leg room. When I'm looking at the weights on the super lights, the double axles, we're looking 4,900 to 6,200 pounds, 51 gallon fresh water, 29 gray and black, 60 gallons of propane, 24 foot to 32 foot. So yes, we are known for small camper specialists, but we do carry big campers in the double axles as well. As far as a website, I've got to talk a little bit about their website because honestly, it is a tremendously nice website. Their website, and I encourage you to go on it, again, in my mind, a website should do two things. You should be able to go there and in the first minute, know what it is they're presenting and how to get around. And they make that very easy. I would like to point special attention under their resources tab, and they have StarCraft University. What is that? That is a free learning portal for the person out there that is just getting into this, or even if you're seasoned, it gives you a good overview of your camper. I highly recommend going to StarCraft University, investing the time to go through the free program. Then if you find afterwards they have an upgraded program, they being the presenters of the university, but the basic one will give you a host of good information. So let's recap why StarCraft is a good choice. StarCraft can meet your needs either between a stick and tin or a laminate. They have a long record of RV building from 1964. I think they are one of the best values for your dollar in the camping industry. And the last piece, I honestly think, yes, other manufacturers have good roofs, but the roof on the StarCraft is actually stellar with the Magnum roof system, and I would think, in my opinion, that's the best one out there. So you have value to the dollar, you have a good solid build with an amazing roof, and you have a long history of building. So with that all said, come on down to Kerola Campers, see what we have, take a look. We'll help put you in the camper that's right for you. Happy camping!